everybody. In honor of John Hancock's house being on the market for the first time in 50 years, I'm going to tell you my favorite John Hancock story. I'm Jenny Zigrino. I used to be a colonial reenactor in Boston. I'm now a stand-up comedian. I still really love colonial history. Why? So it's 1776. You've got the regulars out. They are coming to Lexington and Concord because they're going to get the munitions that are stored there. So at the Clark House, you got John Hancock and Sam Adams hanging out in the State House because, they're like criminals or whatever. So you also might know this whole story as Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. That's Paul Revere. He's also the guy on the Sam Adams bottle because Sam Adams is pretty ugly. You gonna drink this guy's beer? So hours before this, he'd actually warned them that the regulars were coming, and they were like, yeah, okay, we'll leave right away. Guess what? They didn't. Paul comes back to the Clark House to see John Hancock, brandishing a weapon, and he's polishing it, and he's like, I'm a soldier, I'm gonna fight. He's not a soldier, okay? This dude has never seen combat. He's the wealthiest guy in Boston at the time. He's just a rich kid who just thinks that he can, fight. And Sammy Boy's like, hey, dude, we gotta go, okay? You can't fight. We can't fight these regulars. John's like, I'm a soldier, I got my musket. Meanwhile, his girlfriend's like, we need to go, okay? I ain't staying here to fight nobody. John's even like, we're not even going to go back to Boston because the English are there. And as long as the English are there, we're never going back to Boston. Which then Dolly's like, you don't have control over me yet, dude. You're not married to me yet. Which I was like, badass move, Dolly. So finally, Sammy Boy's like, all right, we're going. And they all agree and they leave. Okay, not all of them because John Hancock actually leaves his girlfriend and his aunt at the Clark House. So Sam and John get into John's carriage, which is, of course, the fanciest carriage because he's a rich dude. It's literally like if you were running from the cops and you're like, oh yeah, I'll just take my Bentley. People are going to see this. Then they get to the safe house and then John is like, oh no, I've forgotten the most important thing. Not his aunt, not his girlfriend. No, my good friends, he wanted salmon. That's right, John Hancock had been gifted some salmon and he was hungry and wanted dinner. So he was like, oh no, I forgot my salmon. So he sent his carriage back to the Clark House where the regulars were coming to find them to get his salmon. So the Bentley of 1776 goes back and gets the salmon. Oh, and he says, oh, hey, while you're there getting my salmon, I guess you can, pick up my girl. Hancock gets his salmon back, okay? He also gets his girlfriend and his aunt. And then, he even asks the woman of the house to, cook the salmon. He's like, man, all this running from the regulars is making me hungry. So Revere's like, okay, everything's chill. But then it's not chill because then this guy named John Lowell shows up and he's like, yo, John Hancock left behind a trunk. John Hancock left this trunk in the Buckman's Tavern, which is it had the most important papers pertaining to the movement, okay? It's the Whig papers. It's all their stuff. It's confidential. If the regulars get a hold of it, that's bad. It's almost as if someone added a journalist to a Signal app with confidential information in it. So Paul's got to go help this guy, John Lowell, get the trunk out before the regulars show up to Buckman's Tavern, which, by the way, people thought that the regulars were not coming. And again, he's just like, I saw them with my own eyes. What is wrong with you people? So the trunk gets dragged out to the middle of the woods because there's nowhere else for him to put it. And while John Lowell and Paul Revere in the woods, that is when they hear from the woods the shot heard round the world. But then it turns out they were just about to have their salmon in Woburn and the new safe house. And then turns out that the regulars were found out where they were. So then John had to abandon his salmon again. And he was very upset about it. So there's a fun little story about our founding father, John Hancock, and his love of salmon, apparently. All the stuff I showed today, you can actually go see it. You can go to the Buckman's Tavern and you can go to the Clark House. And the carriage is not. It's just someone's carriage. But yeah, you can go see the trunk in Worcester. So that's pretty cool. But he's dead, so you can't see him.